Hi, I'm Paul Wilson, creator of the Body Swing and the director of the Paul Wilson Golf School at Bears Best Las Vegas. In this tip, I'm talking about impact and how to stay behind it. So pros stay behind it through impact. Your average player tends to get ahead of it through impact, sending the club over the top, making poor contact. So if you want to stop coming over the top, get those nice solid iron shots, then you need to learn how to stay behind it. Hopefully you enjoy this tip. If so, give me a thumbs up. Click on the red button to subscribe to my channel, then click on the bell so you're notified when I post new tips. And please tell all your friends about my tips. You know, there's a lot of other people out there that need help too. So a big part of developing a perfect impact position is getting your body to be angled like this as you hit the golf ball. So many amateur players that I see are too vertical or even leaning forward when they hit the ball. So just imagine your spine, let's say like this, okay? So when we go to hit the golf ball, we don't want to be too vertical here. We want to actually be tilted backwards as we hit the golf ball. We certainly don't want this, okay? This would be leaning forward. That would create thin shots, bladed shots, top shots, skying your driver, okay? So if you're doing any of those shots, yeah, you're probably leaning forward in the downswing as you hit the ball, and slices, of course, too. All right, so we want our body to be angled this way, backwards, when we hit the golf ball. We need our spine angled like this, okay, as we hit the ball. That's going to create the descending blow on our shots. It's going to de-loft our golf club if our wrists are loose, and it's going to allow us to create a divot. Okay, so another thing, if you're not taking divots, yeah, you probably are not angled like this when you're hitting the golf ball. So why you would not be angled like that is because you're trying to hit the golf ball with your arms. So you're at the top of your golf swing like this. Right here, you're thinking, I'm gonna hit that ball. So when you do, you start leaning forward. Now, it's only a quarter second from here to the ball. So if you start leaning forward, you now have to lean the opposite way by the time that club hits the ball. And you're probably not going to be able to do that in a quarter of a second. So as soon as you start leaning forward, you're probably going to hit it leaning forward or vertical. You may be a hair behind it, but probably not much. All right, so it's very difficult to stay behind it like that if you are hitting with your arms. So better players hit the ball with the legs and hips. So it's like hitting the accelerator on a car. So if I go into the backswing like this and I fire my lower, my upper goes backwards. Okay, my whole body starts angling like this as I hit the ball. That creates the descending blow, gets me that nice compressed sound, de-lofts my clubs. All right, so we gotta stop trying to hit the golf ball with our arms at the top of the backswing. So that's number one. Difficult to do if you learned golf as an adult. All right, because from the very first ball you ever hit, you started to hit balls with your arms. So I'm trying to get your arms powerless in the down and through swing. So I don't want you hitting anything. We're gonna use our body, and our arms are attached to our body, so they're gonna follow in our swing. So we don't wanna be thinking up here that we're trying to hit anything. Okay, so that's kind of like step one. The next thing you wanna do, and this is what I did many, many years ago because I actually had a reverse pivot long time ago. So I was taking the club back like this and my head was moving. I was on this angle myself. I would come over the top and hit a big slice. I was probably about 15 years old. So I had to fix this in my golf swing. So if I had to fix it and change from that angle to that angle, then maybe you do what I did, okay? So I don't know how long it took, I can't remember, but I did it for quite a few practice sessions. So here's what I did. I did two things. So you can start to choose one of these two or do them both. It's up to you. So what I would do is I would pick out a dimple on the back of the ball. Okay? So you can use a dimple. You can take the label of the ball and point it that way. So I will, in this instance, we'll have the label facing here. Now, when I set up to the ball, I can just barely see the label. Now, what I would do, I'd take it back like this, keep looking at the label, so my head is moving, I'm seeing the label. Then I would keep looking at the label as I hit the ball, club went through, then I would look for my ball. You got to imagine, if you can just barely see the label when you set up, if you went like this, you wouldn't see the label. So you'd be angled this way. So like I said, I can just barely see that label right now. I see the label, so to see the label, my head would move a little bit. That gets me over here. And now I keep looking at the label as I hit it. Okay, so right here, like this. There's the label. So right there, I saw the label throughout that whole down and through swing. Then I started looking out here. Okay, so that was the first way I did this. So that helped to try and get me back there. Then I thought of another way. I thought, well, why don't I just use my feet as a guide? All right, so if I set up to a golf ball like this, my feet are here, my head is here. So as I go back, why not move my head back to this foot, keep it here as I hit the ball, then allow my head to go forward. All right, so I would do that. So just using my feet as a guide, I'd be thinking about my head position relative to my feet. So right here, I would move my head to this foot, keep it there as I hit the ball, and then I would start looking for the ball. All right, so doing both of those things got me angled behind it. And like I said, why that is so important is because pros do it, but it creates the descending blow if you have loose enough wrist to release the golf club. That gets you that nice compressed sound. You hit the ball way better, way longer, and it hits the ball straighter. That's because if we're up here like this and you lean forward, you're gonna send your club over the top. Okay, if I'm up here like this, and I'm looking, let's say, at the back of the ball, my club is going to swing slightly from the inside. So if you're swinging slightly from the inside, you're going to make nice direct contact, and that's going to give you a lot more power. And you're going to hit the ball on target. All right, so that's why we want to learn how to stay behind the ball. This one is tricky, okay, but it is absolutely vital. If you see every pro in the world with their spine tilted like that when they hit the golf ball, then that's a position that you should probably get in your golf swing. Now, just be aware that if you're working on tilting like this, you may hit the ground behind the ball. You may hit some fat shots. That's okay, because that's very easy to fix. As you get the tilt, just feel the back heel come off the ground a little bit when you hit the ball. So like this, if you go like that and you're hitting the ground, all you have to do, feel this heel right here. You got to feel that heel lift a little bit, then the club will clear. Okay, and you'll stop the fat shots. So maybe you have to take it in two stages. Get the angle first. Yes, you're hitting some fat shots, then just feel the heel. Okay? But this is so unbelievably important in your golf swing that whatever it takes to get this angle, you know, you've got to get this angle. You get this angle, this will take your game to a whole new level, because now you are doing something that pros do. As you start to do what pros do, of course, you start to hit the ball, you know, like pros. And wouldn't that be great? All right, so use your feet as a guide, or look at a dimple or the label on the back of the ball, and you'll get that backwards tilt in your golf swing. I truly hope you've enjoyed this tip. You know, I've been teaching a powerful, effortless, pain-free golf swing now since 1991. If you'd like to learn this type of swing, then head on over to bodyswing.com/free samples, click the link up here or in the description below, and I'll send you some free samples of my Body Swing book and video series that take you step by step by step through how to build a powerful, effortless, pain-free golf swing. So once again, head on over to bodyswing.com/free samples, click the link up here or in the description below, and I'll send you the free samples right away.